Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, Deconstructing Narcissism. So, today's going to be a little bit of a different topic. It's going to be why I believe men are just giving up in society in 2024 and why they're just dropping out and they're not doing anything productive. And this has to do with a lot of reasons. I'm trying to think of the first reason I could go into, but what it really comes down to is ownership. So when men don't really feel like they can have ownership of anything, especially in today's society in America, with how high inflation is, how corporate price gouging is right now, how rents have just skyrocketed through the roof. Not to mention the quality of women here in America is just piss poor. Like, these women are just, so many of them are just mentally damaged, and it's not all of them, but there are just not a lot of good women to pick from who are faithful and who are willing to settle down and get married. It's really bleak out here for men. And, it just, my job that I'm currently working at just reinforces the fact as to why men are just dropping out of society and just going their own way. Every time I see my paycheck at the end of the 2 weeks, which is not much, it's like $1,200 or $1,300, I look at the amount of taxes that just get taken out of my paycheck every single 2 weeks, and I'm just like in awe of how much the government is taking from us. It's just, you have taxation upon taxation upon taxation. You have government taxing, you have the stores taxing, there's sales tax, you have all these different other kinds of taxes. It's just men are seeing this and they're just saying, you know what, I'm never going to be able to afford anything. I'm never going to be able to buy a house with these wages, with the way hyperinflation is right now, how everything's just going up so much faster than my wages. I'm never going to be able to have a family like, generations past have always done in the 70s, 80s, 60s, 50s, and beyond. I'm never going to be able to have anything of value, a nice car, a nice anything. The most these jobs pay are the bare minimum, and they barely cover the food, rent, and bills. That at the end of the month, they barely cover food, rent, and bills. So it's just men are looking at this and they're just saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to live off Social Security or government benefits and start a side hustle. Start a side hustle, or just drop out completely and just play video games, because they see that no matter how much they work, they can't get ahead, because the more you're punished in America, because the thing is, you're punished in America for working more. The more you work, the more the government takes out of your taxes, and out of your paychecks. The more government takes the taxes out of your paychecks, and the more you owe at tax time. So you're literally punished in America for working more, not less. You're rewarded for working less, okay? Because the government takes less taxes and you get a tax return at the end of the year. If you work more, you get more taxes taken out of your paychecks, and you have to pay at the end of the year. And it's just not worth it. These jobs are not worth it. Men are seeing that they're giving their lives away 10, 12, 13, even maybe more hours a day working these jobs, and they're barely getting anything out of it. And there are also very few options for men as far as how to get ahead in the society. They can go back to school, they can get themselves into debt, right? And hopefully maybe they can come out on top and get a job after that. But again, with the way this economy is, these jobs are asking for 3 to 5 years of entry-level experience for a minimum wage job, for an entry-level job. A lot of them are asking for bachelor's degrees. A lot of them are asking for they have all these ridiculous requirements, and they have thousands of people applying to these same jobs. So they go on Indeed and they get discouraged because they see how many people are applying to these jobs. They're applying day in and day out, and they're getting rejected. Just like I am. I'm getting rejected from all these jobs day in and day out. It doesn't matter how many jobs I apply to. I always find a rejection email. I always find a rejection letter, I should say, when I go into my email. And it's really discouraging for men. Society right now doesn't have a lot to offer for men. I mean, the society in America, they really has a bias towards men. Really, this deep-rooted hatred towards men, where we're the enemy. We just need to shut up and be grateful for what we have. We're not allowed to complain. We're not allowed to talk about these problems. And so men are just thinking, well, I'm not getting anything out of this in this society. Okay, I'm not. What am I working for? I can't even afford to pay rent for my own apartment. I have to live with roommates, and a lot of these men have to live with roommates, and it's just like they're seeing this. They're like, well, I have to live with a bunch of other people. I can't afford to rent on my own because rent prices are too high. They've skyrocketed. I can't afford to have kids. I can't afford a house. I can't afford another car. I can barely afford my bills and my rent to put gas in my tank. So they're like, why am I, men are thinking, why am I doing this? I'm just going to lie flat like the Chinese are doing, like the lie flat movement. I can't remember the exact word for it, but doing exactly in America what a lot of the people in Chinese are doing. A lot of the men in China are doing is just lying flat and giving up, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for that. Things are just really, really bad out here. So, that's another reason why men are giving up. They they see these wages, they see how much they're getting paid, and they know they're never going to get ahead. Which is also why a lot of men are opting to move to other countries, like I've talked about before, move abroad. Maybe some are going back to school and trying to get into a remote position, move abroad and work over there and live a cheaper, happier, healthier life. Maybe find a wife abroad. Some because the women are generally more feminine. They're more caring. They have more traditional values, and they want to be wives, and they want to have a family. So men are seeing this, and they're saying, wow, they're seeing, a lot of men are seeing that the grass really is greener this time on the other side. And I know it's not always greener, but in a lot of these countries it is. They have their ups and downs, they have their disadvantages, but at the end of the day, a lot of these men see opportunities in different countries where they can have a house, they can have a family, they can have a wife, they can have a better future. So a lot of these men are opting to work too as well, and invest their money and move abroad. And they're not staying in America and working these jobs because they don't see any point. There's really nothing for men here in America anymore. And even 3-4 years ago, if you were to ask me, I would say, there's still hope. But in 2024, it's not looking good. Even 3 years ago, I was making good money. I was making 27, 28. And now the jobs are just are paying almost nothing. And the cost of living has tripled. From 2020. It's insane. So men are seeing this again, and they're choosing to opt out. They're choosing to go their own way. Some of them are choosing to go abroad. Some of them are choosing to live a very, very basic minimalistic lifestyle, and I don't fault them for that. And I guess I just kind of, I got on this rant because I just kind of had a long day at work, and I'm exhausted, and I just, you know, every day I wake up and I just think of like, you know, one more day. I gotta get myself up and do it. And I'm really just working for food and shelter. And it's very hard for me, and I know it's very hard for a lot of men to get motivated when they know they're working a job just for you know, just for food and shelter, and they can't afford any of the nicer things in life, the finer things in life. So I mean, I think that's really it. These are all the reasons. You know, and I guess not to mention that a lot of men haven't gone, you know, are only graduated with a high school education, so they're not really tempted to go into these universities and get into debt, because they know a lot of their friends have went to these universities, have got degrees, have gotten into the debt, and they have so much debt that they're not able to pay it off. So men are really lost in society today for these reasons. And I don't think it's going to get it better in America. I talk about this strongly because I believe this strongly. I strongly believe that if you want to have a better life, it's not going to be in America. It's going to be in a different country. And I understand. I know a lot of people in the comments have said it's bad over there too. But the value of the American dollar, excuse me, the value of the American dollar goes a lot farther in other countries. And in America, we're in so much debt right now that your money is just play money. It's just monopoly money. It barely buys anything anymore. So men are just opting out. They're fed up with it. You know, they're fed up with the misandry. They're fed up with this man-hating society we live in America, where men are just supposed to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and keep working, even though we're not working for anything. And they're tired of it, man. And I don't blame them. So I'm going to end this video here. This is just kind of a rant. But these are the reasons why I honestly believe that why men are lost today in 2024 and why they're dropping out more than ever. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a like, comment down below, let me know what you think of this video. And until the next one, guys, like always, I will talk to you soon.